Hey, welcome to sunny Southwest Florida. This is Alan Smith, and I thought I'd bring you some more information on buying foreclosures. You know, folks, I get a lot of clients that come down. They want to look at foreclosures or short sales. I've already done a lot on short sales. If you're interested in buying a bargain and you're looking at foreclosures and short sales, make sure that you take a look. No, make 2 looks or 3 looks, and go through my short sale video. There's a ton of information in there on really what you can expect, really how short sales really work. As I find 9 out of 10 people have no clue. They really don't understand what a short sale is, what the process is, and really what happens and what, the whys and the hows of the whole procedure. I'm always available to talk to you at 239-989-1106 if you have any questions, but go through my short sale video. But today I'm going to talk about foreclosures, what to watch out for when buying a foreclosure, so I can help you to know which ones to buy and which ones to walk by. So let's get started. You know, the economy is improving overall. We've seen it down here in Southwest Florida. We officially hit bottom last March, April, May. Interest rates are scheduled to be at 7% by the end of the year. So if you're a buyer for a foreclosure or short sale, you have a very small window to take advantage of some of these outrageous buys that you can pick up right now. If you're going to wait till the fall to buy, most likely you're going to lose out. So I wouldn't think that that's a smart way to go. But you know, as a result of the economy improving, some bright spots are showing up in the real estate market as well. We are selling about 180 homes every 24 hours, and about 180 to 200 homes a day are coming on the market, which is what's keeping our prices totally level. As soon as some of these foreclosures and short sales are brought up and the inventory goes down, our prices are going to skyrocket. So those of you that are waiting are not only going to pay higher in prices, but you're going to pay higher in interest rates. You're going to have a lose-lose situation. However, the foreclosures as they spike, which began around the same time the recession did, isn't such a distant memory just yet. In many areas, foreclosures are still happening like they are here in Southwest Florida. In some areas, those numbers have really increased. Surprisingly, foreclosures have even encroached into some key cities, which were formerly thought of to be unshakable real estate markets like San Francisco or my hometown of Seattle. And I can speak for it because I have a real estate practice in Seattle as well, so I'm very familiar with the market there. You know, foreclosures actually rose in both San Francisco and Seattle in 2010, including luxury neighborhoods like Pacific Heights, where a condo that sold in 2007 for $2.3 million recently only sold for $1.4 million as a foreclosure. You know, there's a lot of truth that a second wave of foreclosures are coming. There's no doubt about that. However, the banks have smartened up and they're not going to put them all on the market at one time. That's going to do 2 things. One, it's going to make prices so they don't fall any further. So those of you who are thinking you're going to wait because prices are going to fall, it's not going to happen. The banks got smart enough to figure out how basic supply and demand worked, and they realized that by putting a whole bunch of homes on the market all at once, all they were doing was hitting their thumb with a hammer. So that's not going to happen anymore, so get it out of your mind. That's not going to happen. However, there is a huge second wave of foreclosures out there. But what it is going to do is it's going to prolong the period of time that it takes to completely go through all this for the home prices to actually go up. But we are, up at any amount anyway. We are seeing increases in certain areas of 5 to 7%, which is in a regular real estate market would be a very good appreciation rate. So those of you who are waiting, you're already losing out on 5 to 7%, provided that you're going to buy a home in a good location in one of those locations that are prime pieces of property. You know, if you combine the fact that there is a second amount of foreclosures coming and the fact that many people's 401ks have bounced back with the stock market, within 15% anyway, most economics agree that the bottom of the recession is hit, meaning that competition for these foreclosed homes is, and in many cases, fierce. I can tell you from firsthand knowledge, folks, that if you come down and you spend a day with us and we show you the best buys on Monday and Tuesday, and you wait till Friday to make an offer on them, and I can get several clients to attest on this, those homes will already be bought in that amount of time. The best homes go that fast. I've had homes on it with 6 and 7 bids within 2 days. There's a renewed final dash to get in on what perceived as the best real estate deals they'll get in a while. So how do you know which foreclosure is a good buy and which one to walk by? Well, here's a few tips to help guide you. Get it checked out by a pro. I used to make my living buying foreclosures and REOs. That was all I did for about 10 years. I know how to do flips, how to do rehabs, how to do fixers and foreclosures. You know, firsthand knowledge. I used to do it as a profession, so I'm pretty well versed on it. However, the most essential point, never go by looks alone as an indicator of whether or not a foreclosure is a good buy. A $2 million mansion or a $600,000 mansion, whatever your mansion is, may look gorgeous on the surface, but it might have toxic mold hiding beneath, rot. You know, down here you got termites, you could have, you know, water damage, all kinds of things like that from past storms, which will require extremely pricey, lengthy repairs. On the other hand, a mission fixer may look like dilapidated, but it may have excellent bones and can be repaired at a reasonable price. Bones are the basic structure of the unit, and if all you have to do is a cosmetic rehab, you know, some paint, some carpet, you know, cabinets, sinks, faucets, lights, fans, those things are bolt-on stuff, very easy. That's what you want. You want something with good bones that you can come in and do a cosmetic fix-up, change it the way that you would want to anyway, and you're not having to pay for those new fixtures and stuff in the home anyway. But the one most thing that I always suggest is that we have it looked at by a certified professional home inspector, which we will do for you. We'll check out that property before closing any deal on it to determine what repairs need to be done so you can truly assess whether or not it's worth it for you. Don't rely solely on previous inspections. I see people do this all the time, especially ones that were done by the seller, because you got to remember, who was the inspector working for when that inspection was done? Not you, right? For the seller. May not be some things on there. Even if that report was done recently, a vacant home can deteriorate quite a bit in a very short period of time, especially in an area with climate extremes like what we have down here with the storm and the hot weather. Number two, don't abandon common real estate logic. Too many people I see when shopping for a foreclosure, because of the price, they get that greed thing or that stars in their eyes. They abandon all real estate sense and they focus on the low price alone. Remember, things like a subpar location, poor light, terrible view, below average school district, high crime rates, and other negatives might be part of the reason why that home went into foreclosure in the first place. Never, never, never assume that the financial problems of the previous owner were the main reason for every foreclosure, because they're not. The last owner may have bought the home ignoring some of those aforementioned problems and seen value risk because of them. Don't ignore those problems, especially if you're considering selling in the next 5 to 10 years. It's going to be at least 5 before you're really going to look into making any amount of money. My biggest quote that I tell clients looking to buy and sell for profit is you make your money when you buy, not when you sell. But more on that later. You need to know how long the home has been empty. The longer it has, the more of a chance this isn't a good deal. I can go with that for you. I can go over that more with you in person. But you got to remember that also, if there are plenty of other foreclosures nearby, that could also be a bad sign. Third, skip or at least very strongly rethink the flip. House flipping, buying at bargain basement price, updating it, and then reselling it for a much higher is very 2006, folks. It hasn't been hot since. Most everybody I know in the flipping market, i.e. the professional investors, have long since got out of it. There is not enough margin in it. The reason is those homes are being made available all to the public now. And whenever you have public bidding on it, the price will always be higher than when you could buy them and have a very small market that was bidding on those foreclosures or that had exposure to the market. Look at it like a car auction. If only dealers can go to a car auction, that car is going to be sold for less money than a public auction where the public can go. If you have a $20,000 car, dealers will only maybe bid up to $12,000 or $13,000 because they have to be able to sell it at a profit. So you can buy it a lot better. However, if that same auction allows the public to go, a public person will bid up to $18,000 because that's still a deal to them because they're saving $2,000. However, there's not enough room, there's not enough margin to buy a foreclosure, fix it up, and turn around and flip it in the majority of cases. Beware. Even if a house looks like an incredible flipping opportunity, beware of the temptation unless you're a pro with a high risk tolerance and you have an incredible contractor connections. We have a lot of contractors that can do just about everything for you, but I often suggest to clients that unless they are good at this, that they double or triple the amount that they think they'll be spending to fix up the home just to give extra pad, because there's nothing worse than being upside down or not to be able to complete your project and have the whole thing go to heck in a hay basket. Clients also should always avoid the temptation to make fast money unless they think it through and talk to us, a home inspector, all the contractors, and possibly even a therapist. That's just a joke, but I'll tell you what, flipping short sales right now is not necessarily a good thing. You should be buying like always. Real estate is always bought on a 5 to 7 year plan. If you buy good right now on a 5 to 7 year plan, you'll be fine. I've never had a client to this day, knock on wood, thank God, that I could say that ever bought a home that they did not know the market crash was going to happen. I can sleep at night telling you that myself. Next one, go over budget. A fixer-upper means nothing if you can't afford to fix it up, and that's especially true for foreclosures where the fixes can cost a pretty penny. Before you buy, make sure you have an ample budget, please, to do all the repairs needed. After truly taking stock with the help of myself and a home inspector and the contractors of what those needs are going to be, make sure you have at least half of that money in cash, or better yet, preferably all of it. You don't want to take more loans than needed, especially private loans, which you shouldn't be taking those at all, but some people do, and the interest on them, little by little, will chip away at the initial foreclosure bargain. And finally, do your homework on lenders. Fewer people are getting financing for home buying now than they did before the recession, but good financing is luckily still available to many qualified buyers. Just make sure, as with regular home buying, that you enlist a reputable lender. A good lender will take the time to review your financial life and the long and short-term goals that you have to truly pick the best solution for you, rather than just spitting out options on quotes and numbers, which so many people make their decisions on, and then it comes back to haunt them. And it's my job to make sure that you're happy all the way through your transaction till the time you sell it and buy from us again. That's our overall goal. So you need to also ask about all the hidden costs, the rate locks, prepayment penalties, origination fees, and whether or not underwriting is done in-house. Make sure everything is explained to you clearly, and I recommend that you review all of the answers with a real estate attorney, who will also be able to check out the lender's overall reputation. These are things that many people do with the standard home buying process that we have our clients do, that we do for our clients, but often some might gloss over when lured by a low foreclosure price tag. Just be aware of it. Don't let it get, don't get, the stars in your eyes when you think you see a good deal, because not all good deals become that. Ask the tens of thousands of people that are into foreclosure right now that thought they were buying that great home. And finally, see the home in person. Finally, my advice is to never buy and close a home without going in person to see it. Now, that doesn't mean you can't buy it, but never close it, ever, foreclosures or otherwise. What I mean by that is we bought in a lot of homes for clients sight unseen, where we do it solely by pictures and video, but it's usually after we've spent 2 or 3 days with them, so we know exactly what they're looking for, and we can be their eyes and their ears even though they're not here. And even at that, once we tie up the property, which is good in this market because then you can fly down and do the final inspection, you buy it with a contract subject to your inspection to come down. That gives you your opportunity to look. Because if you see a home you like on one of my tours or on the internet, by the time you get down here, if it's truly a good buy, it won't be available anyway. The only thing that you can do, or the best thing to do, is to contact us. We'll put an offer in it, get that offer accepted so we know the financials, make it subject to your inspection, so when you come in, you take a look at it and say, nah, not a good deal, I like something better, and we cancel the deal. Or you say, yeah, this is the home of my dreams, everything's perfect, Al, Carol, you did a great job, and then we go ahead and complete the transaction. That's the best way to do it. But make sure that in 99% of the cases, you see the home personally so that you can give it your seal of approval. Well, that about wraps it up to what to watch out for buying foreclosures. This is Alan Smith. I hope that I brought some value into you today. Have a wonderful, sunny, warm Southwest Florida kind of day. Bye-bye now.